Good evening, children. Today I am here to tell you the story of three school friends, namely Susan, Veronica, and Octavia. Susan, Veronica, and Octavia were old school friends. So let us introduce them to you. Susan, Veronica, and Octavia. They studied in Morton High School for Girls for 12 long years in the same section, and they were very good friends of each other. They had a strong bonding. After school, all the three of them were busy in their own walks of life. It was quite sudden that one evening Susan met Veronica at a food outlet near her workplace. Both of them were surprised to see each other. Susan happens to be a successful businessman by now. She runs her own firm. Veronica also happens to be a successful man of commerce. She happens to work in a bank as a manager. Susan tells Veronica that she is running some problems in her business and they were financial. Veronica says, "Not to worry, I will be giving you all financial supports." It was quite sudden and accidental that Octavia stepped into the same food outlet after a couple of minutes. All the three of them were shocked to see each other. Octavia somehow could not believe that this was all accidental. She suspected it to be pre planned and suspected them to have not informed Octavia purposefully. She became angry and she walked out of the food outlet. Susan and Veronica laughed away. Veronica said, "See, Octavia hasn't changed. She's all the same. She was short tempered at school also." Okay, now let's come to terms. So Susan and Veronica came to terms and they had begun their business known as In-Transitive. One fine morning, when Susan and Veronica were having cups of coffee in the chamber, Octavia stepped into and said, "How do you think that your business will be a success without me? You have to give me a share." Veronica brought it to a cool and said, "Okay, but you have to give us time." Octavia was to give time, but not always, as she did not like the accompaniment of Susan and Veronica very much. So they came to terms with Octavia and planned to open another branch of their business known as Transitive. Here is the story of two branches of the same business, intransitive and transitive. Now let's reveal the real selves of Susan, Veronica, and Octavia. Susan is actually subject. Veronica stands for verb. And Octavia is the object. Let's talk about the business, intransitive business between Susan and Veronica. What is an intransitive business? It is all the business of the verb. When is the verb intransitive? A verb is intransitive when it is complete in itself to give a concrete meaning to the sentence. Right? The subject is the one which performs the verb, and in an intransitive sentence, the verb does not require the aid or help of any object further to give the sentence a complete meaning. For example, the baby cries. Over here in this sentence, the subject is the baby and cries is the verb. So over here we find that the verb cries is complete in itself and it is enough to give a complete and concrete sense to the sentence. It does not need or require the help or aid of any object. In such sentences where the verb does not require the aid or help of any object further to give the sentence a concrete meaning, it is known as intransitive verb. Now let's come to the business of transitive. What is a transitive verb? A transitive verb is a verb where we find that the subject actually transits over the action of the verb to the object or over to the object. Like say, if I say, I broke, the immediate question which will arise is, what? You broke what? A vase. Therefore, I is the subject, broke is the verb, which is not complete in itself and will require the help of an object to give it a complete sense. I broke what? A vase. So therefore, in this particular sentence, broke is a verb which is not able to give a concrete meaning to the sentence alone and needs the aid or help of an object to give the sentence a complete or concrete meaning. Therefore, what is a transitive verb? A transitive verb is a verb which is not enough in itself to give a concrete meaning to the sentence and requires the help of an object to give a concrete meaning to the sentence, or rather enable it to make the sentence complete in itself, and which answers the question, what? Right? I broke what? The vase. So, the verb in case of a sentence where it is a transitive verb, it answers the question, what? It also answers the question, whom? I hit whom? My brother. I hit whom? My brother. So, We can come to a conclusion by saying that a transitive verb is a verb which is not enough in itself to give the sentence a concrete and complete meaning and needs the aid of an object where the subject transits the action of the verb over to the object and asks the question what or whom to the object. And the object is the one which answers the question either what, I broke what, the vase, or it may also answer the question whom, I hit whom, my brother. So here I end my story of S, V, and O. Susan, Veronica, and Octavia. Goodbye.